What is up, people? How are you on this fine Thursday afternoon, July 13th, Thursday? It's about 1:15 Pacific Standard Time. And I thought that, my new release videos have been doing surprisingly well. It seems like quite a few people are enjoying those. I have a lot of positive reaction to those. So I thought maybe every Thursday, at least for the next few months, I can talk about newer releases, like a new release day every Thursday. What do you think about that? I buy a lot of records, obviously, and I forget that I have stuff. Like I'll have a record for a year that I didn't have time to listen to, and I'll stick it aside, and then I'll pull it out a year later. I'm like, oh, wow, I haven't even heard this yet. So I think there's just so many records out there. Some people, you might get lost. They might get lost in the shuffle. You might get lost in the shuffle. You just forget to listen to them. Life happens. You can't listen to them, you forget about them. So I just thought, yeah, every Thursday I'll post a video about some of the more recent releases I've purchased, maybe from the past year, 6 months to a year. I'll talk about some brand new stuff and some stuff that's a few months old. What do you think about that? Every Thursday, like Thursday new release day? I love doing these. I love doing these videos. I don't just obsess over old stuff. In fact, I don't listen to my older records very much at all. I still have them, obviously, but most of my time is spent listening to new stuff. Even in the midst of doing all my Meat Beat Manifesto videos and my KLF videos, I'm still listening to new stuff. So anyway, yeah, let me know what you think. New release Thursday. I don't know. I might just do it. At least for a couple of months. See how you guys feel. This is a record I bought probably a month or two ago. This is Felix Laband. And I've actually thought about doing a video on this guy. But I've gotten to the point where I don't know that I want to do videos where only 20 people are going to watch them. But these new artists, I want to talk about these people because they put out stuff that's really good and I don't feel like enough people know about them. Felix Laband is awesome. This dude has a sound all of his own. It's electronic music, but it's very different. Nobody sounds like him. South African producer, and his stuff, it always has very striking imagery, as you can see. His covers usually grab your attention right away. They're usually like these cut up copy and paste type pastiche methods of art on his sleeves. He has a couple of albums. He has one album called Death Safari that is amazing. And I thought about doing a video on that. Maybe, if Felix Laband fans find this video, let me know. I will happily do a Felix Laband video. The dude's awesome. And nobody sounds like him. Really talented producer. And he just put out a new album a couple months ago. This is the single that comes along with it. He hadn't put out an album in, I don't know, a couple years, 3, 4, 5 years. But he just dropped a new album a couple months ago. This is the new single that came with it. As you can see, Acid Poly remixes DMX Crew, Cold Cut. Who else is on here? Sharok Dini. I don't know who that is. Frivolous. Excellent mixes, man. There's not a bad mix on here. There are 5 total. All good. He has an earlier single that came out maybe a decade ago. It's got a Luke Vibert mix on it. Phenomenal stuff. But this guy, he mixes like very, I hate to say the word jangly, but he's got very striking, bordering on disturbing imagery. Like the cover for Death Safari definitely is like an image that catches your attention. And then you listen to the music and it has sinister tones to it, but it's also very light and jangly and melodic. It's that kind of music that is unnerving. It makes you feel unbalanced, a little bit unhinged. And man, that's my favorite type of music. Felix Laband. Highly recommend this guy. I highly recommend you pick up anything you can from him. He's really good. This is the new Axel Boman 12-inch. It's called Hubba Bubba Club. And usually Axel Boman just puts records out under his own name. This is the first thing he put out as Hubba Bubba Club, as far as I know. And this is a fantastic record, as everything from Axel Boman is. is fantastic. The remix comes from Super Pitcher, who's just a veteran who's been making ambient and techno and house music for a long time. He's just a master. I interviewed him for Discogs too. Nice guy. But this is a really good 12-inch. Highly, highly recommend you check this out. It's really well produced, well realized dance music. That's how I would put Axel Boman in a box, as much as I don't want to do that. He's just a masterful producer. And I would absolutely recommend you check out, in fact, maybe I'll talk about those records next week, but he records as Talaboman with John Talabot. John Talabot's another guy I'm definitely doing a video on. I don't care if people watch it or not. He's just a producer I think people need to know. I would absolutely recommend Talaboman. Anything you can pick up from Talaboman. It's Axel Boman and John Talabot working together. This is just John Talabot, his track on the A side, the Super Pitcher mix on the B side. If you like really inventive, fun, slightly sinister dance music, it doesn't get any better than Axel Boman. The dude is on fire, man. Excuse me. This, I don't normally pick up records on music on vinyl. You know that label, Music on Vinyl? It's basically Sony. They put out pretty shoddy represses. The covers are usually processed, blurry images. The records are always cheaply made and all kinds of different colors. Don't normally sound very good. I don't have a lot of music on vinyl releases, but I love this soundtrack. I love this movie. If you've never seen Thin Red Line, you need to see it. One of the best movies about war I've ever seen. And I've seen them all. It's not as good as Apocalypse Now, but what is? But this is right up there. This is a really cool movie. And the music is fantastic. Absolutely great. Hans Zimmer, as you can see. Get yourself a dose of double vinyl here. And I haven't even broken this out of the seal. It is on colored wax, I think. Yeah, silver and dark green. You want me to open? I will. I'll open this. I'll have a ceremonial unboxing here, but not really. It's just in this little seal here. All right, let's break this up. Ooh. Well, I will say it's a nice textured sleeve. Yeah, very nice. Images seem okay. I see a little bit of processing on Woody Harrelson's face here. Maybe not the greatest image, but it's a nice textured sleeve. Gatefold. Let's crack this open. I mean, this is a really fantastic movie. Terrence Malick wrote and directed this. He had taken like a, what was it, 25-year hiatus? No, it wasn't that long, maybe 15, 20 years. What was his movie he did before? I don't remember. But Terrence Malick didn't make a movie for a long time. And then he came out of the blue and he did this. And now you can't stop him from making movies. I think Terrence Malick is slightly overrated as a director. He definitely has some amazing movies, but then I think his movies he gets a little too precious at times. If he toned down that preciosity with his movies, I think they would be better. But it works here. I guess it's the mood. It's your subject matter. But I think generally he's a little overrated. I love this movie though. Let's break out these records, huh? It's like you get, what is that, green? Looks a little silvery, right? Kind of like a forest green there. I know. I'm doing this on purpose. I'm examining the wax. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Absurd yet flaccid. So that one's not bad. Let me look at record 2 here. Here we go. Here's the Silver Jam. It looks the same though, right? Wow, yeah. This one's a little more silvery than the other one. they're both kind of a green silver. Like the first one was like a greenish silver, and this one's like a silver green. Very cool though. Doesn't look like there's a lot of non-fill, so maybe the pressing sounds pretty good. I have not listened to it, but I look forward to doing so. Because yeah, this is one of Hans Zimmer's greatest achievements. Hans Zimmer, I mean, you know, he's done all kinds of scores. One of my favorites from him is the True Romance soundtrack. He did the music for that. Really cool music. That's one of those themes that's been carried over into other movies. You know when that happens, like you see a movie or you know you like a certain artist's score and you hear it in one movie and then all of a sudden you start hearing it in other movies. Remember that happened with Clint Mansell, his Requiem for a Dream, the Lux Eterna. You know, it came out in Requiem for a Dream, perfect. And then I watched the trailer at the time for Lord of the Rings and it had Lux Eterna. I was like, wait a minute, that's Clint Poppy's music. How'd that end up in Lord of the Rings? That should be left to Requiem for a Dream, right? I swear, whoever saw that coming with Clint Mansell, by the way? You Pop Will Eat Itself fans out there. And I'm opening up my next record because I have heard this, but I have not yet opened the vinyl. Who saw that coming with Clint Mansell? I certainly didn't. Like, if you were to, 30 years ago, if you were to say, yeah, Clint Mansell is like the most well-respected and brilliant music scorer person on the planet, you'd laugh. I would. But boy, he certainly pulled it off. Okay, I cannot get this damn... This is going to be the most fascinating video of all time for you guys. I cannot get this damn record unsealed. Come on, man. All right. This is the new Orb album. Prism. Now, I have heard this. It's on Apple Music, so I've heard it. But I bought the wax because that's what I do. Is there something stuck to this? There's something inside the shrink. Look at that. Unprecedented video making right now. What the hell? All right. Do I dare pull this out? I'm going to open up this seal. This is a good album, too. I like this Orb album. Oh, my God. I cannot get this seal open, y'all. This is craziness. Come on. Open, you son of a bitch. Come on. There we go. Good Lord. Like child-proof packaging here. It's the most effective seal I've ever seen. I like the new Orb album. I dig it. It's cool. Nice long song. Sometimes Patterson puts out records that are just... They don't really sound very Orbish. They're maybe a little too poppy, a little too new agey. This one I'm liking. And I forget the guy's name. He's recording with some new guy. Some kid. I don't know his name. I personally prefer Orb when he's with Thomas Fellman. But, hey, this is a good record. What is that? Yeah, I'll deal with that later. This looks like some weird... Looks like a piece of glue or something. But this is an excellent album. You Orb fans, obviously, you're already going to own this. And it is going to take me the length of this video to get this fucker open. Good God almighty. So, this is record 1. It's on funky colored vinyl, and I know how you guys like to froth and salivate over funky colored vinyl. Citrus. I assume record 2 is the same color. But this is, this kind of sounds like a traditional Orb album in a lot of ways. It's very dancey. I wouldn't necessarily call it ambient. Ambient music is music without beats. When I interviewed the Orb several years ago, I was talking to Thomas Fellman, and they had just released Chill Out World. And we were talking about how that's really the only purely ambient Orb album. And it's true. Ambient music is just, it's moods, it's environmental music. It's not necessarily dance music. It can be, that's what ambient house is. But the Orb have really never released a purely ambient album. That's the kind of the joke of the Orb. Chill Out World is really the one exception. And I talked about that with Thomas Fellman. I'll link my interview if you guys are interested in reading that. Definitely love talking to Thomas Fellman. That guy is a master. Anyway, the new Orb album, Prism. Check it out. Good stuff. This is the new José González EP. This is a remix EP, and it's pretty cool. I like it. It's got remixes from DJ Coz. That's my favorite mix. Jose Coz. I think it's Coz. We have Sophia Cortesis. I don't know who that is. Ela Minus. Dungeon. I know Dungan. Dungan. I want to say Dungan. Dungan's good. Like a psychedelic rock dance thing. Very, very cool band. Solomon, Roosevelt, and Miss Grit. They're all really excellent remixes. This was an RSD release this year. I really like José González. He's good. I tend to pick up all of his stuff. And the remixes are all solid. My favorite, again, is the DJ Coz mix. But they're all solid. I don't know any of these other artists, really. So it was nice to be introduced to the rest of them. Dungan, I would recommend you pick up, though. Anything from Dungan's good. Dungan has an album out, too, that's produced and remixed by Prince Thomas. He basically went in and remixed one of their albums. Really good stuff. Excellent. This is on yellow wax. I'm not going to show you. I just showed you a yellow record. It's the same thing. We all know what yellow, the color yellow looks like, right? This is, I think, let me get these in order here. Of course, they're not in order. But this is the new Tim Maia Racional collection. There are 3 of these. Here is the third. Sorry, I'm covering up. Volume 3, Volume 2, and Volume 1. I think these are bootlegs. I don't know. I looked them up on Discogs and I didn't see them yet. I just bought these a few months ago. I bought these from Juno. And these are really pretty good pressings, though. They're all on different colored wax. You get this one on kind of aquamarine, like a bluish green, greenish blue. These are phenomenal records. If you don't know Tim Maia, please introduce yourself to him. He was a dude who made soul music in Brazil. And he had his own little harem and his own little fortress. He was like his own little David Koresh down in Brazil. Very interesting story on this guy. And his music is brilliant. You need to hear this. I mean, you'll listen to this and you'll slap yourself for not introducing yourself to him sooner. And his records weren't easily found here in the United States. They were Brazilian-only pressings like these. So they weren't easy to find. They still aren't, really. But I saw these pop up on Juno a few weeks ago, and I had to grab these because I've heard the albums, like downloads and stuff, but I've never had actual physical copies of these records, and I'm happy to have these. They do sound good. I mean, if they're bootlegs, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. At least I didn't. Volume 2 on blue wax. His stuff is just it's timeless funky soul music. And he proselytizes a lot. When he sings a lot about the Word of God and religion. And I'm not a religious person, but it doesn't matter. You know, when someone is singing about religion, but the music is so good, you don't really care. It's just part of the whole package. And I don't judge people for their belief systems. I don't care. And Tim Maia had a lot to say. I don't agree with it, but so what? I would rather listen to an artist who's got ideas that I don't understand. It makes it more interesting to me. There's more mystique to it. I like the mystery. Always prefer mystery over something that's just explained to me. Lots of proselytizing, but when the music is so good, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. Anything you can pick. Tim Maia is long dead now, but anything you see with his name, especially these. Oh my God, these are so good. And to end off this video, I'm going to talk about some compilations that I have really, really been loving lately. This is Balearic Breakfast, Colleen, Cosmo, Murphy. This is just what it is. It's a compilation of old Balearic sounding tracks. This one is really, really excellent. This came out about a year ago. I'll break it. This came out on Heavenly. You can see the little Heavenly hype sticker there. Not much to see. It's just, you know, plain generic inner sleeves. Oh wait, no, it's not. I thought they were. Wow. See, I need to remember these things a little bit better. No, they come with full color sleeves. What was I thinking about? I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. Nice. Like I said before, nice, lush color inner sleeves. Listen, I have a lot of records, man. I forget shit. I forget stuff. Here are the labels. Nice packaging. Side 4, as you can see. Side 3, as you can see. This is, I have never heard of Colleen Murphy. I had no clue who she was. No idea. Here is, there's a download code, as you can see. I didn't even notice that. I have not read this. I need to get on that. Really cool package. The music is phenomenal, though. Absolutely beautiful music. I'll run down the track listing here. Joan Bibiloni's Fosca, Cantona the Mountain, Coyote remix. Coyote is someone that I've been buying a lot of stuff lately. He's a modern Balearic guy. Really good stuff. He puts out a lot of records. He puts out stuff on Is It Balearic, which is obviously a Balearic label. Excellent stuff. Fragile, we've got Tonight Boy. That's a good song too. Fragile, we've got Tonight Boy. I'd never heard this. I think it came out in the mid-'80s. I think they released one single, and it was that. Such a good song. Just, it could only exist in the mid-'80s, you know, that kind of sound. Just the dated drums, the dated synth work, even the dated vocals, but it's so catchy and so good, it doesn't matter. It sounds dated and dateless at the same time. Yeah, a strange mixture there, but it works. Linkwood, Miles Away. Linkwood is someone you definitely want to know, absolutely, for sure. Linkwood is, he puts out some inspired stuff. Ptah, The Cosmic Laws, Phil Asher, Restless Soul vocal, that's a good song. Mild Life, Vapor, Cosmodelica remix. Cosmodelica is her, Colleen Murphy. I didn't know that until I picked this up. Friendly Fires and the Asphodels, Velo. Asphodels was Andy Weatherall and Tim Fairplay. So you get a Weatherall track on here. Lady Blackbird, The Stranger, Ashley Beetle mix. Yes, I talked about Ashley Beetle during my Aloof video. Dude is so good. Ashley Beetle. I hope you guys went and checked out Ashley Beetle. Those of you who watched the Aloof video, I really hope you did. Morena's Hazme Sonar, ambient remix by Peter Vrenz. That's cool. Most of these songs I've never heard of. This Colleen Murphy went out of her way to present some really fantastic music that just is unknown. I consider myself to know a lot about music, but a lot of these tracks, I was like, I have never, ever heard of this. That one was great. Morenas, Hazme Sonar, the ambient mix. Yes, you want to hear this. You need that in your lives. I don't know how to say this. I'm sorry. Kaul Hyon Rose, Paths. I don't know. I don't know how do you say that name, but it's a good song. And then Mike Salta and Marty Mortal, Henry's Spacewalk. If you like Balearic music, or just very pleasant, retro, summery pop music, which is essentially what Balearic is, you need this in your lives. This is the best Balearic compilation I've heard in years. Absolutely essential. Fantastic stuff. And then this is volume 2. This just came out a few months ago. This is equally as good. Let me break these out. Now this, I know, has printed inner sleeves because I just pulled this out the other day. Very similar. 1, 2, 3, 4. More liner notes. Very nice packaging. I'm not going to show the labels on these, but if you dig Balearic music, you need this stuff in your lives, man. This is amazing stuff. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. And I'm going to see if I can get these back in the inner sleeves, which I don't know that I'm going to be able to in any good time. There we go. And that is my new release video for Thursday, July 13th. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm breaking out some deep tracks this time. I don't always want to just talk about names and bands that you know of. This is about discovery. I want to break out artists that you might not know of, or even I know of, like stuff on here, or stuff on here, or any of these. Check these out. These are phenomenal records, one and all. And I will talk to you next time. Goodbye.